Good morning. Good morning. My name is David Greenfield. I am the councilman from the 44th Council District in Brooklyn. I'm privileged to serve as the chair of the Land Use Committee. I want to welcome all of my esteemed colleagues who are members of the committee. Councilmember Palma, Councilmember Koo, Councilmember Lander, Councilmember Rose, Councilmember Williams, Councilmember Richards, Councilmember Cohen, Councilmember Reynoso, Councilmember Traeger, and Councilmember Salamanca. I, of course, want to thank Chair Richards, Chair Salamanca, and Chair Koo for their outstanding work on our respective land use subcommittees. Today, we have 22 items on the calendar. Yes. This is a good Snickers morning. Not going anywhere for a while. Have a Snickers bar. We will be voting to approve all these items except for LU 6110, 611, and 628, which we will vote to approve with modifications, and LU 607 we will move to file as a Sidewalk Cafe application has been withdrawn. The first two items, LU 633, Mamak Sidewalk Cafe, and LU 634, Ruby's Midtown, are both applications for revocable consents to establish and maintain unenclosed sidewalk cafes at 174 2nd Avenue and 442 3rd Avenue, respectively. Both cafes are in Councilmember Mendez's district. The next series of items are for the development of affordable housing in the Bronx. I'd like to congratulate Chair Salamanca and Councilmember Palma on these two great projects in the district, the 600 East 156th Street development, otherwise known as LU 608 and 609, will bring 175 units of much-needed affordable housing and a new public charter school. This rezoning from an M11 to an R8A district, and text amendment to apply MIH option 1 to the site is in Chair Salamanca's district. Chair, would you like to make any remarks about this particular item?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to thank you, Mr. Chair, and Chair Richards for your help on this land use item. I know that it took some time for us to get to a place where all parties agreed. And I just want to put this on a public record. I know that I'm in favor of this project, but it's important that Phipps Houses, I met with the homeowners yesterday, and Phipps Houses understands that before they begin the construction, they have to sit down with the homeowners and ensure that all their concerns are addressed, because this will affect the quality of life for a period of 2 years. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. The Westchester Muse development, LU 610 and 611, will bring 205 units of affordable housing, ground floor retail, and community facility space. This application will rezone the area from R5C22 to R6C2-4. We will be voting to modify the text amendment to restrict the development to MIH option 1 and to limit the applicability of the floor area and lot coverage adjustment to MIH area 1 and Community Board 9 of the Bronx. Each of these projects has corresponding tax exemption applications pre-considered. LU 201754288HAX and LU 627, which pursuant to Article 11 of the Private Housing Financing Law will provide tax exemptions for a period of 40 years. Each of these projects has been approved by the appropriate subcommittee. The next item is the Ports America Incorporated Maritime Lease LU 614. This application is for approval of a maritime lease between the New York City Department of Small Business Services and Ports America Incorporated for piers 88 and 90 on the Hudson River between West 48th Street and West 55th Street in Councilmember Johnson's district in Manhattan. The lease would allow Ports America Incorporated to use these piers for docking cruise ships through 2029 and would provide two options for 5-year renewals extending to 2039. The next items are applications by the School Construction Authority for the siting of two schools. LU 636 is an application for a new 800-seat primary and intermediate school facility to be located in Community School District number 31 in the Stapleton section of Staten Island. The school will be located in Councilmember Rose's district. LU 637 is an application for a new 1,000-seat primary intermediate school facility to be located in Community School District number 19 in the East New York section of Brooklyn. The school will be located in Councilmember Espinal's district and was one of the city's commitments made during the East New York rezoning process, and we're very pleased that the city is keeping its commitment to Councilmember Espinal's community. We will also be voting on a historic district and on an individual landmark today. LU 628, the Morningside Heights Historic District, is in Councilmember Levine's district in Manhattan. The district consists of approximately 115 residential and institutional buildings, representing the district's rapid transformation at the turn of the last century into a densely populated neighborhood. The district is home to major religious, educational, and medical institutions such as Barnard College, Teachers College, Union and Jewish Theological Seminary, and St. Luke's Hospital, as well as its grand apartment buildings earned the neighborhood the nickname the Acropolis of New York. It's a very distinguished moniker. The district designated by LPC also includes many row houses with distinctive architecture that illustrate the evolution of middle-class living in the early 20th century. During the public hearing, we heard testimony from Congregation Ramada Ra objecting to the inclusion of the synagogue in the district. LPC's designation report characterizes the synagogue's two-story building as a modest and emphasizes the cultural history of the site rather than architectural. The congregation testified the designation would impose a hardship on the synagogue. The congregation has also sold all of its unused development rights. As a result, the risk of demolition is low. Because of the synagogue's lack of architectural significance, its location on the edge of the district, the hardship on the building's owners, and the lack of usable, accessible development rights on the site, the subcommittee and Councilmember Levine have recommended excluding the building from the historic district. We'll be voting to modify LPC's designation of the Morningside Historic District to exclude the building at 550 Cathedral Parkway. We'll be voting to approve LU 629, the Cathedral of St. John the Divine and Cathedral Close, located at 1047 Amsterdam Avenue, also in Councilmember Levine's district of Manhattan. The Cathedral and Cathedral Close is one of the great religious complexes in the world. The cathedral serves as a religious, cultural, and educational center for many New Yorkers. The Cathedral Close includes a complex of ecclesiastical buildings, the seat of Episcopal Archdiocese of New York. The cathedral is considered the crowning glory of that portion of the Morningside Heights neighborhood. It is the largest Anglican cathedral and fourth largest Christian church in the world. The remaining items for our vote today are 7 tax exemptions and 1 loan, all pursuant to the private housing finance law. The local council members are all supportive of these applications. LU 615, the Lower East Side People's Mutual Housing Association, is an application for a partial tax exemption to preserve existing rental housing for low-income families and 18 multiple dwellings in the Lower East Side of Manhattan containing 212 dwelling units. The units are currently occupied. Units which become vacant will be targeted to households as an MI of 80% or below during the exemption period of 40 years, retroactive to July of 2015. These buildings are in the district of Councilmember Mendez and Councilmember Chin. LU 616 is a 40-year property tax exemption for a property located at 911-2917. That's 911-917 Atlantic Avenue and 1041-1047 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. This tax exemption will facilitate the creation of 114 units of affordable housing in 2 buildings at a range of AMIs. These developments represent the off-site affordable housing generated by an agreement between Hudson Companies and the New York City Economic Development Corporation in connection with the 2015 disposition and redevelopment of the Brooklyn Public Library in Brooklyn Heights. LU 638 is a tax exemption for the Lot Legacy Apartments. There are 21 multiple dwellings in the East Harlem and Upper East Side neighborhoods of Manhattan. The proposed 40-year tax exemption will facilitate the preservation of 359 units of affordable housing between 30% of AMI and 80% of AMI. 3 of these buildings are in Councilmember Kalos's district, and 18 of these buildings are in Speaker Mark Ferrito's district. Pre-considered LU's 163rd Street Improvement Council is an application seeking a new 40-year tax exemption to facilitate the rehabilitation and preservation of 4 multi-family buildings totaling 73 units of affordable rental housing in Councilmember Gibson's district in the Bronx. The prior tax exemption would be terminated, and the new exemption would result in the additional units being set aside for formerly homeless households, with the new rentals being restricted to no more than 80% of AMI. LU number 639-2865 Kingswood Terrace is an application for a mortgage loan pursuant to Section 23 of the Private Housing Finance Law for property located at Block 3256, lots 156 and 75 in Councilmember Cabrera's district in the Bronx. LU 604, the Concourse Village West application seeks a tax exemption for a period of 40 years to facilitate the development of 3 multifamily buildings totaling 265 units of affordable rental housing. The project will target AMI bands ranging from 30% AMI to 100% of AMI. The site is in Councilmember Chair Salamanca's district. The Dream Yards NEP tax exemption applications, LU 617 and 619, are both in the Morrisania neighborhood in the Bronx. These tax exemptions provide for periods of 40 years. I'll facilitate the provision of 6 multifamily buildings, a total of 127 units of affordable rental housing on 168th Street, and 6 multifamily buildings totaling 174 units of affordable rental housing on University Avenue will be preserved. These applications are in Councilmember Gibson's district and in Councilmember Cabrera's district. Are there any questions on these applications? Okay. For the record, all of these applications have been thoroughly vetted in many hours of subcommittee hearings that you could find online on our New York City Council website. 22 questions. Chair recognizes Councilmember Williams in his pink T-shirt for questions. Councilmember Williams. Salmon. Touche. Okay, salmon is the new pink. Thank you, Chair Richards, for pointing that out. Coral? Okay. The fancy folks on the Upper East Side have officially taken me out of my color comfort level, and now we are going to move on. If there are no questions, Councilmember Lander has a question.
Percent affordable housing, which is definitely a new record for the council. And props to Vanessa for 101% affordability.
You've been here long enough, you know that we can in fact achieve the impossible in this body. And Councilmember Williams wants everyone to know that from here on in, he will not be voting for a project unless it's 102% affordable. And let the record reflect that with his salmon-colored T-shirt that he is wearing today, and a very nice flower, I might add, as well, which matches very nicely. So thank you, Councilmember Williams. We've also been joined by Council Members Mendez, Kalos, and Barron. If there are no more questions or comments on Jumani's fashion choices, we will move on to the roll call for the vote.
William Martin, Committee Clerk, roll call vote, Committee on Land Use. Chair Greenfield.
Thank you. I vote aye on all.
Palma. Aye. Mendez. Aye. Koo.
Aye on all.
Lander. Aye. Rose.
Permission to explain my vote.
Councilmember Rose to explain her vote.
You know, as my North Shore district continues to grow, I'm always taking a comprehensive look at how this growth impacts our residents. Among my top priorities has been alleviating school overcrowding. PS 65 is 133% capacity, PS 13 is at 154%, and PS 78 is at 156%. This new school addresses the issue of overcrowding, and we finally found this location at 357 Targee Street, which is an ideal location for a state-of-the-art 800-seat school, and it's a significant step toward alleviating the overcrowding. And so I'm pleased to vote aye on all, and especially the new school for the North Shore.
Thank you, Councilmember Rose. I want to congratulate you. We all know what a struggle it is to build new schools in the city, and it's certainly a fantastic achievement that you're able to do so in such a short time here in the City Council. Clearly, you've got the administration fearful of your every move, and so we're commend you on that and congratulate you on this fantastic achievement, and we look forward to being there with you at the ribbon cutting. And even I, who really does everything possible not to travel to Staten Island, will make a trek out there and pay the $700 for the bridge to actually get there. Yes, thank you.
Richards.
Permission to explain my vote.
Chair Richards to explain his
just
vote.
wanted to
I just want to
congratulate-
reflect that you happen to have a very nice tie as well. I don't want you to think I'm simply acknowledging Councilmember Williams. We do have some other fashionable folks over here in the council, although it's few and far between today
I aspire to
because
wear
of the
salmon now.
92 degrees outside. Yes.
Yes. I just want to congratulate both Councilmember Salamanca and Palmer for their work on their projects. I think they really achieved some great amenities for their communities, as well as deep affordability, addressing the homelessness crisis, some community benefits, and these are the sort of projects that we need to speak more about, because we have a lot more of these happening in our committees than bad projects, or what some would deem as bad projects. But these two projects should certainly be celebrated, and I want to congratulate them on both for their hard work on these projects. I vote aye. With that being said.
Williams.
Excuse me, my vote.
Councilmember Williams to explain his vote.
Thank you. I do want to congratulate all of my colleagues what they're doing today, particularly Salamanca and Palma, which came out of the subcommittee I'm on, and also, I guess, to highlight the importance of doing these type of projects. Unfortunately, these type of projects are usually happening only in certain parts of the city and only certain council members who are focused on it. And I think that's a problem that we definitely have to look at as a council And my hope is we will continue to do that because many of the zoning projects that come out of this council are completely opposite to the face we're putting in public in terms of what we're trying to do for affordable housing and homelessness. With that, I vote aye on all with the exception of LU number 616, which I vote no.
Thank you.
Wills.
I vote aye on all.
Barron.
Permission to explain my vote.
Councilmember Barron to explain her vote.
Right, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say that as we describe affordable, that's a dangling participle, because if you are a billionaire, you can probably afford anything you want. So I think that as we talk about affordable, we can identify it and say affordable to people at, and identify what that income level is. Having said that, I vote aye on all with the exception of number 16, on which I am abstaining. Thank you.
Cohen.
I vote aye.
Kalos. Reynoso.
Permission to explain my vote.
Councilmember Reynoso to explain his vote.
I will be voting aye on all, and just want to give a thank you to the Bronx members in the City Council who continue to go above and beyond in creating affordable housing for the City of New York. And it also seems to be something that only members in poorer districts or minority districts that continue to do the 100% affordable housing. We can't allow for the burden of all the affordable housing to continue to be built in neighborhoods that look like Councilmember Salamanca's and Councilmember Palma's. We need to do something about it, and until we don't change the way we do it in the committee, we're never going to see a difference. But thank you again for the work that you're doing, and I vote aye on all.
Thank you. And Councilmember, I want to thank you for leading the bike tour yesterday from Brooklyn to City Hall, the only council member to do so. Congratulations.
Mr. Chair, I want to
Yes, ma'am.
correct my abstention. It's not 16, it's 616.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Traeger. Salamanca.
May I explain my vote?
Chair Salamanca to explain his vote.
Again, I want to thank the members of the committee, and especially you, Mr. Chair. I vote aye on all, and I'm really excited about this project because I've been in office for about a year, and to be able to bring in a little over 3,000 units of mixed income affordable housing to the South Bronx is really exciting. Thank you.
Kalos.
Thank you, Chair. And I do want to once again recognize the incredible work that you provided in your district, which is seeing an influx of affordable housing, and you're making sure that every AMI band within your community is represented. And it was very significant changes that you made over here, and I congratulate you on that as well. So thank you.
Garodnik.
Aye.
I vote. All items in today's agenda on Committee on Land Use have been adopted by a vote of 16 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, with Land Use Item 616 being adopted by a vote of 14 in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, and 1 abstention.
Thank you very much. Finally, I want to congratulate Councilmember Palma for modifying the application to the lowest possible level of affordability, the application in her district. I thank you for that outstanding work. As is our practice, we're going to keep this open for 15 minutes until 12 noon, and then hopefully someone's going to figure out how we can turn up the air conditioning in here. Thank you very much.